All right. So we'll just continue with the clampers today. This will be the last session on clampers. So far we have solved three possible combinations of clampers wherein the position of the diode as well as the battery were just interchanged. So I think we are left with the last one or the fourth possible combination. So let us try to look at it today. Okay. I'll be drawing that particular combination of a clamper. Okay, so let the diode be of silicon and the strength of the battery be 2 volts. Okay, we are very comfortable with this 2 volts strength, okay, because for almost all the problems we have considered the same battery strength. Then coming to the input, let it be again a square pulse, okay, because that will simplify our clamper analysis. Okay, so with plus 5 and minus 5 volts. And let Vc be the voltage across the capacitor, which we'll have to determine. And let RL be the load resistor, and output is to be determined across RL. Okay, fine. So that's our clamper circuit, and let us clearly mention the waveforms. Starting with the input waveform. So the input is Vi and it is a square pulse. We'll be talking about triangular as well as sinusoidal waveforms once this problem gets over. So plus 5 and minus 5. So for better representation, I am drawing the vertical lines. And that's our output signal V0. Alright, so to start with the steps for clamper analysis. As usual, the first step is to determine the transition voltage. The transition voltage Vt. Okay, so students, can you just tell me what is the transition voltage now? Minus, plus, plus, minus. So overall
1.3 volt.
Yes. Okay, so the transition voltage is 1.3 volts. So let us just find it out. Okay, so going by the convention which we usually follow, it's like plus 2 volts from the DC battery and minus 0.7 volts from the diode. So overall it is plus 1.3 volts. Okay, so that's our transition voltage, which we'll try to represent it in the output waveform section. Okay, so that's our Vt, which is plus 1.3 volts. Alright, so moving forward, what is the next step? Okay, the next step is to check what happens to the diode in the positive half cycle and during the negative half cycle. Okay, in the previous class, I think we had solved a similar problem, but the battery was actually reversed. Okay, so can you tell me whether the diode will be forward biased during the positive half cycle of the input or during the negative half cycle of the input? Students,
Negative.
negative half cycle of the input. Yes, exactly. Okay, so going by the steps of clamper analysis, there was one step which mentioned that you will have to start with that portion of the input signal which will forward bias the diode. Only then your clamper analysis will be correct. So going by that rule, let us begin with the negative half cycle. Okay, so alright. during the negative half cycle. During negative half of input Vi. Okay, so during the negative half of input Vi, the diode is on. Diode is on. Okay, right. So when the diode is on, let us apply KVL. Applying KVL, what do we get? Input voltage Vi must be equal to the drop across the capacitor C plus the drop across the conducting path. Now the conducting path is the diode itself. Okay, the path which consists of the diode as well as the battery. So it is VDB. Okay, let me again tell you the nomenclature. V is the voltage, D stands for voltage across the diode and the combination of the battery. So B is for battery, D is for diode. Okay, fine. So during the negative half cycle, input's magnitude is minus 5 volts and Vc is to be found out. And what about VDB? VDB is nothing but the transition voltage itself. Okay, it is nothing but Vt itself, and Vt is plus 1.3. So it is plus 1.3. So what do we get? Vc is minus 6.3 volts. So during the negative half of input cycle, the voltage across the capacitor gets instantaneously charged to a voltage level of minus 6.3 volts. So let me write it here, minus 6.3 volts. And simultaneously, let me just indicate it in the output waveform. So let me select a different colored pen so that the waveform will be very clearly identified and distinguished with respect to the input. Okay, so it's all in the negative half, right? So by the way, what is the voltage across the output? The voltage across the output is nothing but the transition voltage, which is plus 1.3 volts. So I'll have to indicate it in the output section. So that is plus 1.3 volts. Fine. Then coming to the positive half. Okay, during positive half of Vi, okay, the diode is off. So let me write it very clearly that the diode is off. So when the diode is off, you will have to remove that section out of the network. So what remains is just the load resistor which is in parallel. So again applying KVL, what do I get? Vi is equal to the voltage that is already stored in the capacitor plus the voltage drop across the load resistor RL. Okay, so what is Vi then? Vi is plus 5 volts. Okay, because we are talking about the positive half cycle of input. So it is plus 5. Vc is minus 6.3 volts plus VRL. Okay, VRL. So therefore VRL is nothing but our output voltage, and this is equal to plus 11.3 volts. Okay, so please pay attention at the notations and the polarities. So output voltage during the positive half cycle is plus 11.3 volts. So let me just indicate that in the output waveform, plus 11.3 volts, and I'll just have to join it. Okay, now if I want to accurately represent the output signal with respect to the input, then it's like, you know, when input varies from 0 to 5, the output is like this. Okay, if I just draw the center level, okay, what should be this voltage level, students?
6.3.
6.3, good. So 1.3 plus 5, right? It should be 6.3. Okay, 6.3 volts, right? So this is how the output voltage of the clamped signal looks like. So let me just verify, is it really 10 volts or not? Because the concept of clamper says that the overall voltages of input and output should be the same. The only thing is that there will be a shift either up or down. So the input is overall 10 volts Let me verify the output. 11.3 minus 1.3. So is it not 10 volts? Yes, it is 10 volts. So that means the voltage levels that we have indicated are accurate and correct. Okay, fine. So that's the output waveform. So students, if you have any doubts, then you can just ask me now.
Sir, tell
Yes.
the negative half cycle once again, sir.
Yeah, just a second. Okay, let me just repeat it. See, during the negative half of the input, okay, the diode is on. So whenever I say negative, it is minus, plus. Okay, so we are applying negative voltage to the cathode and in turn positive voltage to the anode. So due to which the diode must be on. Okay, so when it is on, it behaves like a, as if it is a short circuit with the drop that is being determined by the drops across the diode as well as the battery. Okay, so in that sense, the drop is the output voltage, which is plus 1.3, right? But the voltage stored across the capacitor has to be determined by applying KVL, and if I apply the KVL, it is VI equal to VC plus VDB, and VDB is the voltage drop across the diode and the battery. Okay, which is VI is minus 5 and VC I need to determine, and the voltage drop across the diode as well as the combination is 1.3. Okay, so based upon that, if I just find out VC, then it will be minus 6.3. Okay, so VC is the voltage across the capacitor and V0 is the voltage across the output. Okay, so these two things should not be confused. Okay, what is the use of determining VC whenever the diode is forward biased? See, this value helps us during the positive half of VI when the diode is reverse biased. Okay, so it is very important for us to identify the value of VC here. Okay, fine. So all right, so that was about the fourth possible combination of a clamper circuit. Moving forward, as I had mentioned it in one of the previous classes, there is also a logical way of determining the output of a clamper circuit directly without solving KVL. Okay, but it is purely a logical way. Okay, there is no science behind it, there is no physics behind it. Okay, it is just based on logical observation, which is normally not mentioned in the textbooks. Okay, but please beware that in your exams you are not supposed to solve it in this way. It is just for your additional information, just for your cross verification. In your exam you must apply KVL and then solve any particular clamper circuit. Okay, so I'll just be writing it: solving clamper circuit based on observation. Okay, and I am reiterating it that it is purely an observation. Okay, so what are the steps here? The first step is as usual, determine VT. Okay, determine the transition level VT. Then the second step is observe the direction of the arrow in the diode. Okay, there is no arrow in the diode, but you know, a diode, it usually resembles, right? See, say for example, if I just draw the diode like this, it appears as if it is pointing downwards, right? Okay, and if I just draw the diode like this, it appears as if it is pointing upwards. Okay, so you know, we'll just follow these notations. So in that sense, just observe the direction of the arrow. If the diode is pointing upwards, The second option will be if the diode is pointing downwards. Okay, so upwards in the sense the positioning of the diode in the circuit will be like this. Okay, if this is the case, then just draw the waveform above the transition level, Vt. Now suppose if the diode is pointing downwards in this way, then just draw the waveform below the transition level, and finally denote the voltage levels appropriately or accordingly. So what do these 3 points mean or suggest? Okay, let us just quickly take an example. What I'll be doing is I'll be taking the same example that we had solved previously. Okay, so in this case, can you tell me whether the diode is pointing upwards or downwards, students? I'm asking.
Upwards.
Upwards. Okay, exactly. It is pointing upwards. So let me just apply the same logic and then verify whether the output waveform is still the same or not. Okay, so I'll be drawing the waveform, the circuit once again. Alright, so this was pointing upwards and the symbol was like this, I suppose. Okay, and RL, so silicon diode, 2 volts battery, and the input was a square wave, plus phi, minus phi being the voltage levels, and Vc was the capacitor. Okay, fine. So going by the shortcut steps, so that's the input, time period, Vi plus phi and minus phi. Okay, so let's determine the transition voltage, which is the same. Okay, so the transition voltage Vt is minus plus plus minus, so overall it is plus 1.3. Okay, so this is the same process even when you applied KVL. Okay, so this is common, plus 1.3. Now the second step is purely based on observation, right? So in this case the diode is pointing upwards, right? So what does the previous step say? If the diode is pointing upwards, then just draw the waveform above the transition level, as simple as that. So I will have to draw the waveform above the transition level, but where should I start with? Okay, should I start with the positive half or should I start with the negative half? Well, here in this case I will have to start with the negative half, because during the negative cycle of the input signal the diode is on. Okay, so I will always have to start with that phase. So this is how the waveform appears like, right? So the negative voltage of the input waveform, it corresponds to this particular voltage level. Okay, then the entire output should be above this transition level, right? So let me just draw it in this way. That's it. Okay, with the voltage levels. Now what should be the voltage level? See, I am not applying any KVL here, but still I need to determine. If I want to determine, then one logic will help me, and that particular logic is that the voltage levels of input as well as output should be the same. That means the overall voltage is 10 volts. So at the output side, the negative peaks voltage level is plus 1.3. So how much should I add to 1.3 volts, students? Yes?
10 volts.
5.
Sir.
No, I need to add 10 volts. Okay, right? I just need to add 10 volts. So it becomes 1.3 plus 10 volts will be 11.3 volts. As simple as that. Okay, and the center point will be, I just need to add 5 to it, so that it will be 6.3 volts. But the important voltage levels are the maximum positive and the maximum negative peak. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you, students. Fine. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just take one more example. Okay, and let us just cross verify whether this observational method applies or holds good or not. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just select the diode's position like this, so that it appears as if it is pointing downwards. Fine. Okay, we have already solved such kind of a circuit, so that you students can just cross verify the output waveform. Okay, so that is RL silicon diode 2 volts, input plus 5 minus 5. I am not changing the voltage levels. Okay, but in your exams it can be done. Okay, I may give any of the voltages which are feasible ones. All right, so let us look at the output waveform. The input Vi, square pulse, plus 5 minus 5. So what is the transition level in this case, students? Can you tell me? Yes. What is the transition level? Plus,
2.7.
minus, plus, minus. So going by the conventional notation, we are moving from negative to positive. Both of them are in series. So the overall transition level is plus 2.7. Okay. So the transition level is plus 0.7 plus 2. So overall it is plus 2.7 volts. So immediately I'll have to represent it. Plus 2.7 volts. Plus 2.7. Now the shortcut observational method says that check for the symbol of the diode. Is it pointing upwards or downwards now, students? Whether the diode is pointing upwards or downwards? Somebody has to respond. Downwards. Okay.
Downwards.
Yes. So if it is pointing downwards, then just draw the entire waveform starting from plus 2.7 volts downwards. That's it. Okay, so just draw a square pulse. Now I am starting in the positive half cycle because the diode is forward biased during the positive half cycle of the input. Okay, so I have also started drawing the output in the positive half cycle. Okay, unlike as it was in the case of the previous problem. All right, so that's it. What should be the maximum negative voltage level? Yes, the overall magnitude is 10 volts. So for this particular thing also I need to add 10. So if I add 10 below, so how much do I get? 0 to 2.7, it is in positive direction. So I have to add a magnitude of 7.3. Am I correct? So okay, but it is minus, right, because I am below the 0th axis. So it has to be minus 7.3. So that overall, if I add up only the magnitudes, then again it will be 10 volts. As simple as that. Okay. So this is the shortcut method just to cross verify whether the output, the shape of the output waveform that you have got for a clamped for a clamper circuit, is it correct or not? Okay, but please be aware that in your exams you are not supposed to do it in this way. You have to apply KVL and then solve. Okay, so this shortcut method is only for your reference, just to cross verify. So I am writing it here, that note this method is just for cross verification. Okay, cross verification of output waveform. Okay, and one more very important point is, it applies only for clampers, only for clampers. So please do not apply this principle to clippers. Okay, you cannot apply and you will go wrong. Okay, fine. Yes, so moving forward, okay, I think I had given you this particular problem as homework. Okay, so which I believe that many of you must have solved. Now one point to be observed here is that it's not mandatory that the voltage levels during the positive half and the negative half should be same. Okay, they could differ also, because in this particular example the positive half amplitude is from 0 to 10, whereas in the negative half it is from 0 to minus 20. So it is a asymmetrical one. Okay, so you may be given such kind of waveforms also, but the important point is, when you solve it and when you draw the output waveform, you will observe that the overall amplitude or the voltage will be the same. Okay, see, because here from positive half to negative half, the overall amplitude is 30 volts of the input signal, and if I verify the output voltage, it is also 30 volts. Okay, only thing is that there is a positive DC level shift. Okay, the output waveform has got positively clamped. Okay, so the only difference is that one. Next, so that's the summary of all the clamping networks which can be possibly given to you. Okay, so the first and the second ones are the most simplest form of clamper circuits without any additional DC battery. Okay, so you can just cross verify the principle here. In this case the diode is pointing downwards, so the entire output waveform is being negatively clamped. Okay, the transition level being 0. Okay, I am talking about the first diagram. In the second diagram, the diode appears as if it is pointing upwards, so again with respect to the transition level, the entire signal is being positively clamped. Okay, next, if we add DC battery additionally, then we will be getting 4 possible combinations. Okay, so that's the first possible combination, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Okay, so we have solved one example on each case. Okay, with some practical voltage levels. Fine. All right, so I think we are done with the clampers. Okay, so students, if you have any doubts, then you can just ask me.